Hello, my name is Donna Link. Today I'm reporting to you on the conference that you will be attending, which is the 19th WONCA World Conference of Family Doctors. It is May 19th through the 23rd, 2010 in Cancun, Mexico. Here is a map of the country of Mexico, and here is Cancun is where you will be going. This conference is the largest gathering of family medicine professionals in the world, attracting more than 5,000 international physicians, according to the website wonca2010cancun.com. Some examples of topics that will be included is food and nutrition, injury and emergency, health services, family medical care, health administration, and the topic that you will be discussing, HIV/AIDS. This is a problem here in Mexico as well as in the United States. Also, I will be reporting to you some things you will need while in Mexico. According to PIA, 2 years ago, governments committed to scale up towards universal access to comprehensive HIV prevention programs, treatment, care, and support by 2010. Every day, young people are becoming infected with HIV in Latin America and the Caribbean because there is a silence about sex, drugs, and HIV in their home and in their schools. So it is important to work with those who shape beliefs to create a more receptive environment. If everyone is involved, open, and willing to educate others on the prevention of AIDS, we can prevent others from being infected. The economic conditions: many Mexicans immigrate from rural areas that lack job opportunities, such as underdeveloped southern states and the crowded central plateaus, and go to the industrialized urban centers and the developing areas along the U.S.-Mexican border. According to the CIA World Factbook, the economy of Mexico is the 11th largest in the world. Mexico has maintained positive, although low rates of growth after a brief period of stagnation in 2001. Recent administrations have expanded competition in ports, railroad, electricity generation with the aim of upgrading infrastructure. According to the Forbes Global 2000 list of the world's largest companies 2008, Mexico has 16 companies in the list. Society and culture: Mexicans emphasize hierarchical relationships. People respect authority and look to those above them for guidance and decision making. An example of this would be asking their grandmother for advice on what to do in a situation. Most Mexican families are extremely traditional, with the father as the head, which is the authority figure and the decision maker. Mothers are generally revered, but their role may be seen as secondary to that of their husband. Mexicans consider it their duty and responsibility to help family members. For example, they will help find employment for a family member out of work. The official language of Mexico is Spanish. As many as 100 Native American languages are still being spoken in Mexico, but no single alternative language prevails. 80% of those Mexicans who speak these languages also speak Spanish. It would be a good idea to learn some Spanish phrases or maybe to hire an interpreter while you are in Mexico. English is still widely understood there. Communication restrictions: when using a telephone, the international access code for Mexico is 52. The outgoing code is 00, followed by the relevant country code. An example is 001 for North America. City area codes are in use, and 0998 is for Cancun. If calling internationally from a phone booth, only use the official Telemex phone booths, as all others charge very high fees. Internet access is widely available in most of the country, especially in tourist-oriented areas. Business customs and protocol: in Mexico, they choose to have someone important that they trust to introduce you at meetings. It is a good idea to have an upper-level executive on your delegation team to be present. When you are in these meetings, expect to answer questions about your personal background, family, and life interests. Business appointments are required in business meeting etiquette and should be made at least 2 weeks in advance. It is important that you arrive on time for meetings, although your Mexican associates may be up to 30 minutes late, and meetings may be postponed with little advance warning. Make sure to have all written material available in both English and Spanish. Agendas are not common, but if they are given, they are not always followed. Finally, bring plenty of business cards with you to meetings. Mexico's etiquette. Mexico is a class-conscious society. Mexico has extremely polite and courteous mannerism built into its social norms. In formal situations especially, you should not use their first names until you are invited to do so. In Mexico, it is quite common for people to stand and have a conversation with each other a foot or less away from each other, no matter what gender you are speaking to. If you step back too far, they may mistake this as a sign of mistrust. Men always shake hands when they meet and before they leave each other's company, and a hug is shared between friends. If you are unsure, allow the other person to do it first. Professional titles are extremely important in Mexico. Professionals with a degree should always use their professional titles. Examples of these would be a lawyer, doctor, architect, and professors. Informal situations, for example, when in the company of respected or admired senior citizens, it is appropriate to use Don for men and Doña for women. The climate varies according to the altitude and rainfall in Mexico. Coastal plains and the lower areas of southern Mexico have a mean temperature of 77 to 81 degrees Fahrenheit. Here is a graph of the temperatures of Mexico from January to August, and it gets pretty hot. The maximum is almost 120 degrees Fahrenheit. Mexico has 3 time zones: Pacific, Mountain, and Central time zones. Most of the country uses Central Standard Time. Mexico does use Daylight Savings Time. Cancun is in the Central Standard Time Zone. Currency exchange rates. Mexico's national currency is the peso. Some merchants will accept the United States dollar, but you need to convert it before you go to Mexico or as soon as you arrive. You will receive a better value for your money if you use the local currency. Holiday conflicts. Mexico marks an number of important anniversaries and significant historical events with official public holidays. Some of these are the same as the U.S., like Labor Day, Christmas, and Christmas Eve, and some are different, which is May 5th is the victory over France in Puebla, September 16th celebrating Independence Day and from Spain. November 20th is the anniversary of 1910 Mexican Revolution. Gift-giving practices. Gift-giving to business executives and dinner guests is not required but appreciated. Good choices are candy, flowers sent ahead of time, or local crafts from home. Giving flowers, don't give yellow, red, or white, and do not give gifts of silver because it is associated with trinkets sold to tourists. I have included in my written report to you some useful websites, phone numbers, and times to call, and other tips for your trip. Also required travel documents. You will need a valid passport if you don't already have one, and you can go to your local post office and get one. I think this conference is going to be both rewarding and exciting for you. Mexico is a great country to visit. I've given you all the information and background that you will need for your conference, and I hope that this information was helpful and useful in planning of your conference. Thank you and have a great day.